yeah, this apartment has so good light.
Yeah.
So we're in the historic center.
Yeah.
And close to the food market. Right now it's siesta hours, so it's a bit more quiet than it normally is. But still there are no restaurants or bars in this area, so you won't be disturbed at night.
Yeah.
So what you see is like you have 5 beautiful balconies.
Balconies are incredible.
Yeah, facing 2 streets, which is so rare to have
Yeah.
that light coming in. You have the kitchen here, you put all the appliances are below, so you don't see them.
I love this worktop, so nice.
So this would be perfect to have like a little small, like some chairs and
Little table
a table to
Yeah.
have like breakfast or
Yeah,
not so much because you
breakfast bar nights.
oh even that, you know, because you always be outside anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is just perfect apartment to have as a weekend apartment or invest in rentals. So,
Actually, as a weekend or as a holiday apartment would be great, because I was just thinking about the fact that there's no oven there, which actually is very. Even in my apartment, I don't have an oven.
I never had an oven either in any.
You're not
So
supposed
unusual.
to cook on holiday, but
You're not supposed to cook
But if
on
you want to,
holiday.
you have the fresh food market close by. You can buy
Yeah.
some stuff anyways. This is a perfect place to do whatever. You can take this as a storage room. You can take that away. You can make some sort of loft for a bed, or you can make maybe you convert it to a bedroom, like whatever you want.
So it
Yeah.
can even be a 3 people or 3-person holiday apartment.
Yeah, I would say like, or like one person or couple, you know, like well,
Yeah.
you can but also you have the bed upstairs, you can have some sofa bed.
And enjoying this gorgeous architecture, which
beautiful.
is typical of Malaga city centre. That's why it's such a
So
beautiful.
it's a typical like protected facade.
Yeah.
So you can't touch it. So they refurbished this building. I think it was like 7 years ago. But they have to keep like because the building's from 1880, so you have to keep the facade how it was, and that's like this beautiful shot, like the windows, like you cannot. And you have but inside you can change how you want it. Like, it's always good to know like the this is something you have to keep, right? Yeah.
And you could even turn this into a 1-bed apartment if you wanted
exactly.
to, because it's a really good space.
Yeah.
It's having lived in very tiny Malaga apartments, this is a good sized apartment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think some people would like to close it, some people have it open, and there's just as you want to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I
love
really
it.
best of luck selling it.
Yeah, thank you.
And the best of luck to whoever buys it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Lina, for coming here to give us some few tips of how we can redecorate this apartment.
Thank you, it's really exciting. I mean, so I'm, just so you know, I've been doing interior design for 2 years now, and it's super exciting to see Malaga because there's just so much potential in the spaces and we can see it here perfectly. I mean, we have this gorgeous old kitchen which we could really use as kind of to set the mood of the space. But also, I mean, the flooring, that's something you can easily rip out and redo. Honestly, to really make a nice use of this space, I don't think you would need more than 5K, 10K, probably. You can always do more, obviously, always do more, but to really make a nice use of the space, I think focusing on the kitchen and having this space is like a nice little dining nook, little breakfast spot, because I mean, Malaga, we're hoping to find some more brunch spots, but for now, you know, it's always nice to just have a coffee, have maybe a quick read, and then kind of transition through the space. So I think this weird corner here is something, because there's windows behind it, it's just like a storage space, and you don't really need, if you're only here on weekends or, you know, summer holidays, rip that out. You don't need that much storage.
No.
And then you just have like so much more open space. So obviously you need to put a bed somewhere. Yes, that would be a kind of a nice little nook that you can either even shut off so you have like some privacy, but I would just keep it open because it just allows the air and the light to just flow.
Exactly.
So much nicer. So if you have like a little bed and like
You can
a little
even
corner,
open this, you can see. Even you have a lot of stuff here, but that would be a good window, right? To have
get some nice linens, you know, to support like that natural, the warm vibes in here. And all the nice wood. I love the color palette. It's so nice.
So how much would it be like to, if you would rip out a bathroom?
Yeah.
Usually, normal, like the bathroom I have here, like if you would need to refurbish it.
Good quality, around 5K,
Yeah.
which is going to be much less than actually in other countries, which is nice because labor costs here are so much less. And you do have access to everything that you need here, so you don't need to import a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing is wood is very expensive here, so you're probably going to go more with the, you know, the typical marble tiles, all that kind of stuff.
And it comes from here, right? So
it comes from here,
always
exactly.
like
Granite, that's always good.
Yeah.
All those natural tones kind of bring the outside in a little bit, which is nice. Kitchen, I think I would stick with that nice old thing, but again, that's something around from 5K upwards. I guess you can rip it out and redo the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'd be inclined to keep that and just put up some nice shelving.
Exactly.
Have some nice artwork. Yeah, exactly. Maybe pick up on the old wood, like we have with these nice little details. And then technically you have all this space, even instead of doing a sofa, because it does get so hot here, even though you have an air conditioning, you could consider like a little group of lounge chairs.
Oh yeah, smart. You can have a really nice shop close by.
Yes.
How much would that be approximately?
It's quite a large space.
I think it's like 44 square meters.
Yeah,
like
again, it depends on the type of tiles, because mosaics, if they come separate stones, it's obviously much more like than if they come kind of on those sheets.
Yeah, or even like a part of it, right? Just do.
You could also do just a part. Like instead of having a rug, you can still have like a feature of the mosaic. Obviously, that's not going to be much. One, 2,000, depending on the tiles.
Okay.
But again, that's the nice thing here, though.
Yeah, I love that though.
It's hard to find people, and it's hard to get them to commit, and like getting the permits. Those are things that you need to keep in mind that can take a long time. Yeah. Unfortunately. But getting the actual thing done, it just makes such a difference. Like investing the time in the beginning.
And probably below this, because this was refurbished, like you put on tiles, there's probably some good tiles under this. Probably. It can always be fun. But also this is the gives you a warm impression as well, this floor, so if you want to make that to rip it up though. Yeah, of course.
Michaela, we've come to an apartment which is literally just around the corner from the last one, still in a great central location.
Yes.
Tell us why you've brought us here and how it differs, this apartment, to the last one that we saw.
So as you can see, it's a bigger apartment than the last one. There's one separate bedroom, and it's fully furnished, ready to move in. And it's the same area as you said, and you have nice restaurants and bars in the area, and
so it's still very rentable. If one wanted to invest in it as an apartment that they could visit themselves or rent to Airbnbs, for example, this would still be a great choice.
This apartment has been rented out until now, until the corona, where everything stopped.
Yeah.
So I think you can get from maybe one bedroom, I think they would get in like brutto income around 20,000 euros per year. And you have to pay tax after that, but it would be like brutto income. Like, that's a good question, because normally it's really different from apartment to apartment. Sometimes all the furniture will be included in the price, sometimes it won't, sometimes it's negotiable. Maybe it is included in the price, but you don't want the furniture. Like, it's something you always talk about, and it's always up for discussion.
So speaking of negotiating, obviously every property comes with a price tag. What's the custom here in Spain in terms of negotiating a price on an apartment, putting in a lower offer, that kind of thing, which we're, certainly in the UK, we're very used to putting in a bit of a cheeky offer sometimes that's, much lower than the asking price, or maybe 10 to 15% at least.
Yeah.
Is that the normal here as well in Spain?
The problem is, and I think it's always good to talk with the agent about the price, because if you put in like a really low offer, you would offend the Spanish person.
Yeah.
Like that would be, if you would try the 40% or like, or the more or less, it always depends. So you can always talk to the agent, like, has there been offers before? Like, what do you think about this? But normally, before it's been around maybe 5-10%, you go down. It also depends on the apartment. It depends if it's really high price being listed, or if it's really, and sometimes it's just the price as it is.
And of course, we're in slightly unusual times at the moment as well, post-coronavirus. So how's that affecting the market in general?
I see we've been open now for a few weeks, and it's true, like the borders will open in July, so I think will be more stream of foreigners coming into the country again. But also it takes some time for the market to move, people are also, we don't know, like it's a phase of what will happen again. So I think people will tend to be more open to negotiate. I think that's for sure. Like if there will come an offer now, I think people will know, like, okay, I have a buyer.
Yeah.
Let's take this opportunity.
Do you have people contacting you who are prepared to travel in July to come and see properties, or are people holding off?
It's both sides, because some people have just said we'll come in the autumn. Some people said, like, as soon as the borders open in their country, in our country, they will come, So I think from July we'll see more people coming down, and hopefully And there's still like the local market is going on, so people
Still need
here
to
still
buy
need to
and
buy
sell.
and invest and see opportunities. But as I said, like I think the prices will go down.
Yeah. So why don't we save them a trip to Malaga and show them around the apartment now?
So let's go in here to the bedroom.
Okay.
Lovely big tall doors.
These doors are great, and I love some of the exposed wood as well, the beams and.
So they tried to like keep the
Some of the original features.
exactly to keep them and to modernize it. And you always see after you can see they've kept the old floor over there. We can look at it later.
Yeah.
So it's everything exterior. So you have different balconies to the street.
Yeah.
The one bedroom. You have the bathroom next door.
Well-fitted bathroom. Yeah.
Good
Quite modern
size.
bathroom.
Is that air conditioning?
There's air conditioning. You have air conditioning both hot and cold in the whole apartment.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, and actually where you said exterior, that's quite an important point, isn't it? Because a lot of apartments in Malaga are built in old houses that have the central patio,
Yes.
and so they could have no outside windows at all.
Yeah, they talk about exterior interior apartments.
Exterior, interior apartments, yeah. So this is fully exterior. So
when
we've
it's
got
exterior-
1, 2, 3, 4 lovely outside balconies, which is incredible.
Which is great for the circulation of air.
Yeah, and also like nice to hear people outside, right? Just feel like
Yeah, have the
It's
real
definitely-
city vibe, and
Yes.
you can hear some
I love that,
restaurants and people
because people
chatting
yell
in
here, but it's also
squares.
kind of nice.
Yeah.
Feel like you're-
People do yell here,
yeah.
including us now because we're all semi-Malagueña.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't yell, I can't hear you.
Here we have the nice regional floor.
I love this.
It's a pity they didn't keep it.
Just actually
do you,
go out.
Do you think that if someone were to really fall in love with this floor and if they took up the laminate, would it
Oh yeah, sure.
original underneath?
And it could also be that because in most, like all apartments in Malaga, you have this flooring, but you maybe don't have it all over.
Yeah.
So it's quite normal. Like you pick up the pieces when you have left, and you put it somewhere. It could be like, so it's
You
really.
could turn it even into wall tiles or
Yeah.
something if it's.
But you can also, it's really like you can take one of those and go to the store and they can make you more of them.
I see.
So there are
You
stores
can match them.
because
Yeah.
there's certain tiles
That's a
that
good
is from
tip.
Malaga and there's a completely different story. That's just not what I'm good at, but I know that people do that. So
Yeah, I expect our friend Lena could tell us a little bit
Yeah.
more about that.
and this we have the kitchen.
It's really modern.
And it's really a big kitchen.
And
Huge kitchen for an apartment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Making a liar of me. The owner of this apartment is making a liar of me.
and all
So if you want to
of
spend a longer period in Malaga, it's really perfect.
lived in 4 different apartments, I think, in Malaga City, maybe 3, I'm not sure. And none of them had ovens. Like,
Yeah.
none of them had ovens.
And now you always use the oven, right?
Oh,
When you have
always.
one, yeah.
I mean, when I bought my house, one of the first things was put an oven in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I quite happily live without an oven still. to this
Do you
day.
also live in, bars, restaurants? So
I do. I live just 2 streets that way, so live in a good location. Okay, so it's a really, really well fitted kitchen and loads of storage space as well, which I do like as well in my kitchen.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Nice little breakfast
Normally,
area.
the apartments here in Malaga, you don't have a lot of storage room. Like there's no places upstairs or in the lobby or something. So so you always have like those beds and you put a lot of things in them. You have big wardrobes to find things. But so if you just come down for a weekend or shorter time, you don't need that much stuff.
No.
So
No,
it's always warm, I guess.
that's also true.
very, very true.
Okay, well, thanks for showing us this lovely apartment. I personally love it. I think the location of this one's really fab.
Yeah.
And the fact that you could just move in with it completely furnished is, it's a huge bonus, I guess, from having to spend hours furnished shopping. So at least, that's what I like about it.
And the next part we're going to see will be completely different. Then you have to refurbish it and put it in. So
Interesting. Okay. I might bring Lena back then to talk a little bit more on that one. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. So here we are, another apartment in the old town of Malaga.
Yeah.
Great location, as we keep saying. Why don't you tell people what we mean when we say great location? What specifically, what part of Malaga are we in, and why do we consider that to be a great location?
Yeah, so we all the 3 apartments we've seen are in the old town, like the historic center.
Yeah.
And that's the place where most people want to be. Mm-hmm. So it's also like where the prices are like higher than other parts of Malaga. But it's also where you have all the restaurants, the vibes, like the old street, it's really
It's
like
pedestrianised as well,
Exactly.
so that's a huge bonus.
So you also have Soho, which is just linked to the historic center, like where it'll be like the most popular areas.
Yeah.
With La Malagueta will be like where the beach is.
And
Yeah.
when you talk about the bars and the restaurants and the nightlife, what kind of age group do you think the properties that we've seen are kind of aimed at?
Oh, it really because the clients I have they're from 30 to 60 or 70. Like it's really a big and people use them for maybe being here for a weekend. People buy it for like purely investment. People live here all year round. It really depends. But people like Malaga is for all ages.
I agree.
So really, it's hard to say an age, like specific age, but I was saying that gap.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree, all ages. I mean, it's a university city, which means we get lots of young people in the city, but they tend to live slightly further out in the historic centre. But for example, in my building, which is a very similar building to this, we range from, I would say, probably 30, a couple in their 30s are the youngest couple, and then my neighbours who are in their early 60s. So yeah.
And it's true, like the old town will be more about, will be more tourists in the old town. You won't maybe feel like the most authentic Spanish styles, but then you can go just outside. There are areas outside the old town, like Merced, La Goleta, San Felipe Neri, Molinillo, where the prices will be lower. You would just be 5-10 minutes away, and you can get something will be more like even more Spanish.
Authentic.
Do you have anything for sale in those areas?
Oh yes, we do.
Oh, excellent. So people can
I didn't think
contact
of it
you.
today, but today we focused on the historic center. But that's good to know. Like if you're not, some people just want to be in the center.
Yeah.
But if you just can, like, you will pay maybe some less, and you could be 10 minutes outside.
Yeah, and have a different feel.
Yes, exactly.
So when you're thinking about investing in an apartment like this, presumably there are some additional costs that we need to think about. Do you have things like community costs, what do you call it in English? Like the cost of the maintenance of the building, and things like that.
Yeah, so you always pay maintenance costs. You call it comunidad in Spanish.
Yeah.
And in Malaga Center, like for this apartment scene, it could be very rough for 50 euros up to 80 or 100 euros
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
Depending on, it will be for the insurance of the building, if there's a lift or not, for the cleaning lady to clean the stairs and so on. Electricity in the
So everything communal
yes,
is included.
and you
in
have a
that
meeting
price.
every year, minimum one time a year, like you discuss what you have to do in the building. Maybe there will be additional cost if there's something to repair. So that will be a cost. You always have like the electricity and water, and if it's gas, that will be separate. There's nothing included in the community or the maintenance. Then you always pay city tax. It's called EB.
Okay.
So it's a tax like you have to pay to the town hall, and that can also vary depending on the apartment. It could be, I would say, the apartments we've seen would vary from 200 to 400 euros per year.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Because you know where I live. I live down the outskirts of the city, and my EB is 257 a year.
Yeah.
Which is divided into, I think, 6 payments.
Yeah.
Every 2 months I pay.
And if you have a new development, it will be higher. It's because it's based on like the land, like where it's located.
Okay.
And there's just
So this is
And
prime
so
real estate.
So that tax is kind of like, in the UK we call it council tax, but that's basically to cover the cost of keeping the streets clear and clean, and the rubbish disposal and all of that kind of thing. Okay.
So that would be like and then also you have to have like an insurance for your apartment. Like that would be then you have insurance for the old building if something will happen in the community fee, but then you have to have insurance for if something happened to your apartment.
Yeah.
So those will be like the
running costs.
And to have a purchase will be a one payment. It would say if you buy, and it will be the same if you're a local or a foreigner. They're the same taxes. But you should add on, if it's like a normal apartment, not new development, because that's a bit more, you should add on 10 to 12% on the purchase price.
Okay, that's good information.
So that's including, so it would be normally an 8% of stamp duty tax when you purchase. Then you have a solicitor who will charge 1%. and you have the notary and the registry fee. So in total, so put 10 to 12% on the purchase price to cover all the costs. And that could be deducted when you sell. So you don't have to,
Okay.
even though you pay it once.
In terms of like the notary and those kind of things, is that services you provide, or do you have people that you could send purchases
We
to?
don't do it ourselves, but we have people we work with.
Okay. That's,
And you can, and there's a lot of like competent people in Malaga who do those things. Be a lawyer or
because it can be quite daunting,
Yeah.
especially if you don't speak Spanish, to know
Exactly.
where to go and to have someone that you
Yeah.
trust. And so I think that it's great that you're providing that for
Exactly.
your buyers.
So
they
we have
feel
contacts who will talk all different languages, because
Yeah.
people here work in Malaga on the coast, they can help you with everything. And we're also all in the process it's all about, because if you come from the outside into Malaga, everything is new. You need help from, it's just giving you the keys, will be the after if something's wrong.
Yeah.
There will always be questions after, this was charged on my bank account, what is it? Like you always go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and ask,
And how easy is it to kind of deal with electricity companies or deal with gas companies when you need to move in and say, I own this now?
Yeah.
Mm.
They'll
Yeah.
be taken care of by the solicitor, like will be charged
Okay.
including, because you need to have that when you come here. As a foreigner, like it's something you want to give someone, we will recommend someone that's really good and it will help you with everything.
Yeah.
You can even do a power of attorney with that person, so you don't have to be in person when you purchase it. You can send, they will help you open a bank account, they'll help you with a NIE, which like your Spanish ID,
Yeah.
ID number. You just need to have the money.
You don't have the money, exactly.
You know, that tiny detail.
Yeah, and then we can take care of everything else.
Very good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, should we do a little walkthrough of the
Should do a
apartment?
walkthrough, yeah. Okay, Lina, so now we are here in a typical Spanish kitchen.
Yes.
And it's maybe worth mentioning that if you buy Malaga, you always have to invest something in it, like refurbish.
Especially in the kitchen and bathrooms.
Yes.
Just because they're usually older buildings and they don't get renovated frequently, and a lot of times people just keep what's in it. I mean, you can see this is probably, what, 20 years old, 25 years old?
Yeah.
Maybe even more, but you never know.
It's actually less.
Okay, really? Okay, good. See?
Because actually rented out a lot, so then
Yeah.
we're tearing,
So
you know,
there's the wear and tear
really
is
being
the-
used,
okay.
you know?
Yeah, okay. See? But it feels, you know, people are going to come in here, and if you
Yeah.
think like, oh, do I want to move in? No. You know, you want to tear this out, and the good thing is, I mean, there's, in terms of kitchens, there's such a variety of how much you can invest. If you just want to use it, again, as a holiday home, as kind of a renting it out, whatever you want to do with it, you don't need to invest, you know, 25, 30K. You can get, there is IKEA here. You can get an IKEA kitchen. IKEA kitchens actually are a good base if you want to then add a really nice worktop, which usually is one of the highest investment points anyways. You might as well just invest there and then have a really nice space. The good thing is this kitchen actually, it's not a bad size, right? We have, I mean, usually a lot of times also in Malaga you walk into the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like the kitchen is your entryway. So this is nice because it's like a bit more separate. And if you don't need all the storage space, you can just take all that bit down. You don't have a nice view, but you could do nice linens here.
Yeah.
So you can transform the space if you have like maybe 5K, 5 to 10K. If you have a bit more and you want to invest in like some good quality, you know, electrics.
Yeah.
That's gonna last you, so.
Because most people are afraid that they really want to purchase something that is brand new or it's already done, because you don't want to, they've done reforms in their country and they're afraid like it was a disaster with a person, like, but actually like how does it work? Like how would you, what would you tell them? Like they would say like we want something, because it's hard to find in the city, you have to pay more.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's always a bit tricky if you come to a space and you don't know the surroundings, you know, you don't have contacts. I think one thing that is important to know is that you need a permit if you want to rip out the kitchen and you want to do like that kind of taking out a washing machine or a dryer or whatever. That's something you can do on your own. But if you, as soon as you want to like, you create more trash because it's in the old town and the streets are really small, you're going to need someone who can get in the lorry and take away all the trash as well as bring in new stuff. So ideally you want to find someone who can really take it all off your hands.
Yeah, like a project manager.
Yeah. So that's also something we do.
Yeah.
And we also request the permits for you. So we have a group of Spanish-speaking professionals, and then we the good thing is there's so many options and so many opportunities. You want to really do the kind of the groundwork, do the research, find out what you actually need, what you want to invest, and then once you're here, you ideally you would plan to have it all done while you're not here, and then you come in and you have like that TV moment where you're like, oh, it's so beautiful. Is this?
So how would the process be? Because I guess that we just hand you the keys. Like, what would be like you put on like you would do like some ideas, like this is our budget, you would adapt to their needs, right?
So first of all, we have like a questionnaire where basically we find out how you want to use the space, how much cutlery you need, how many people are going to be in here at one time, how frequently you're going to use it, what kind of gadgets you need. And then once we have all that information, we create a mood board where you could say, oh, we want it to really feel like Malaga, like that terracotta style, the natural surroundings. You could also say, oh, if you're from Scandinavia, you might want the Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Exactly. No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It all comes down to what you want, So we create different mood boards. Yeah. You get an idea for kind of the style, the vibe that you want to have, and then we would usually we work with kitchen studios, so we work with them to kind of identify, okay, this is the budget, this is what we can do. Take it back to you, so you don't have to sit in the kitchen studio for 5 hours, talk with them through how high the shelves are going to be, because we know how tall you are. So we kind of try and make the process as nice as it can be. So it's more about the visuals, how do you want it to feel, what you need, what you want, and then we have kind of like a shopping list. You sign off the budget, we make sure that it all gets fitted, installed. We do need a key. If you are there, obviously, if you want to stick around and you want to see the process, more than happy to. But we do document everything, so we kind of always send updates. Perfect. Yeah, we do quality control, because I think one thing, even for us kind of working with different companies, we do have also, being German, there's German construction companies that moved here that were like, oh, we want to live here as well. Yeah. But also we can work, because German quality, architecture and stuff, that is very good. So there's different contact points, but we always try and make sure, even if we work with someone new, you need to do the quality check, you need to be there, you need to make sure that they're actually doing their job.
Exactly.
So that's another thing we do. And then all the way down to kind of, finding nice cutlery and nice plates. Try ideally local, because there is a lot of great stuff here. But again, it's so hard to find once you arrive and you just want to enjoy the beach and the sunshine, and then it's like, you can just tell us what you want, and then we'll do our best to find it.
Yeah, that is great. You have people like you, right? And I'm sure you have people that can recommend you, that work with you, right? To see maybe a portfolio and this is to actually be known, be sure that you have the right person. Yeah. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Find good recommendations. Well, thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.